Amazon is shutting down a lot of its physical stores, its 4-star stores, but it's doubling down on grocery with Whole Foods and its Amazon Go stores. You want to take on Amazon. How?
Well, we want to help our grocers have all of the technologies they need in order to compete with Amazon. To your point, Amazon is investing very heavily in grocery, and they have a ton of technological abilities. And that was a big part of why, in my first week in the job, I decided to acquire Caper, which is a smart cart technology, because I want all of the grocers we work with to have the same edge that Amazon has. And so I see it as my responsibility to build all of the technologies that they need to compete with Amazon so that we can be the antidote for them.
Then there's Uber and DoorDash and GoPuff and go outside the United States, and the list goes on. How does Instacart stand out from all of these different players that are competing for a piece of that pie?
These players fundamentally compete with our grocers. They want to attack the market by being first-party retailer, owning their own inventory. And so that's another approach at all. Our approach is really building technology and fulfillment to help our grocers. The second thing is that these players are very focused on one particular piece of the market, which is quick commerce. And while that's really important, and we've certainly seen our own convenience business double in the last 6 months, we actually address all of the needs that consumers have. We're not just quick commerce, we're also the weekly shop, we're also your monthly bulk stock up, and that's what retailers want.
Now, inevitably, after I interview you or Dara Khosrowshahi at Uber or Tony Xu at DoorDash, I will get feedback on social media from shoppers and drivers who are not happy. One Instacart shopper posted a picture of an order, showed they delivered 51 items, got paid $7.95 and no tip. Is that representative?
No, that's very much not representative. And I think, fundamentally, shoppers care about their earnings. They really want flexible earnings whenever they want to. And so our job is to make sure that they have more access to work.
So what is representative? What is a normal wage for a delivery like that?
We're very much in line with kind of industry average for these kinds of jobs. And so that's something that we always try to kind of nudge the consumer of like, hey, your shopper did a really good job. Can you tip a little more?
What if they don't, though, right? I mean, you're leaving it up to the customer. And some customers think, well, you should build this into your price.
Well, we actually do, and we make it very transparent to the shopper before they accept an order, what the order is going to look like, how much we're going to pay them, and how much the consumer is paying them. And so they can decide whether they take an order or whether they refuse it. And that's the kind of flexibility that our shoppers really value and the kind of transparency that they want.
Are you seeing a labor shortage right now? And what are you doing to combat that?
It's different in different places. Our demographic of shoppers is completely different from food delivery and ride sharing. We're 70% women and half of them are moms. And that's because a lot of the job at Instacart is very different than just being in a car with strangers. It's about like going to the store, doing a good job of customer service, of really picking the right products for the consumer. And we are seeing that being very appealing to women.
The instant delivery space or 15-minute delivery space, is that something that you want to double down on?
It's something that we absolutely want to offer because, again, we really think that our customers want the full range of options. 15-minute delivery is not going to be relevant for everything. I mean, it's going to be very relevant on Thursday night when I'm craving chocolate ice cream, and it's really an emergency when that happens.
Exactly. So, chocolate chip cookie dough for me. You've made some strategic acquisitions, as you've mentioned. What about in the rapid delivery space? Joker, Gorilla?
No, we haven't, and the main reason is because all of these players are doing very much first-party grocery. So that means they own inventory, and so it's not something that's interesting to us because our approach is really build the infrastructure so that our grocers can do 30-minute delivery or 15-minute delivery, whereas these players are doing it kind of on their own, bypassing the grocers.
Do you think retailers trust you? Do they trust Instacart?
So, when I took on the job, I was surprised by the strength of our retailer relationships. But there was always this kind of lingering question that retailers had for me, which was, what are your long-term intentions? Are you planning on becoming a retailer at some point? And I had to kind of address that head on and explain to them in great detail why it would make no sense for us to really go in that direction, and why we were going to be able to build a much bigger company if we just focused on what we're good at,